My beautiful friends, let's do a reading. Let's do a reading. I felt really called to start with this deck, so we're gonna have a look at what's going on with you. We're gonna have a look at what's up with your energy today, where you are on your journey. It's raining here. It's pouring. It just started pouring. I'm seeing the waterfall card. Emotional release, perhaps. Tears of joy. We'll see what's happening here. So we're going to start with this deck. And we're going to see what's going on with you first. And then I'm going to get into this reading. All right, what is going on with this collective? What's going on with this collective? We have red flag alert. All right. Warning signs, mixed motives, hidden agenda. So we'll see what comes out, but right away with the red flag card, you could be someone who overlooks red flags, right? It is something that we go through. I have a deck where the Seven of Swords has a red flag on the top of it. And perhaps you are someone who has been somebody because you've been in an unhealed place or a place where you don't want to lose people or a connection. Perhaps you are someone who has overlooked red flags. Perhaps there's people in your energy right now where you're overlooking red flags, but we'll see what comes out. Red flags, I'm hearing the song. Who sings that song, Delilah? Do you guys know that song? Hey There, Delilah? Of course you know that song. That band sings a song called Red Flags, I believe. I'm hearing that song. But a lot of us can get stuck in that mentality that, oh, they're showing these red flags, but we overlook them, or we have our rose-colored glasses on, and we overlook those red flags over and over and over again, and then we wonder why we get hurt, right? It's also about seeing red flags within yourself when things are being triggered within, or, red flags just aren't about the other person. Red flags are about what's going on within us too, and some of the red flags we overlook within ourselves. Anyway, let's see what's going on with this collective. What is going on in this collective's energy? We have unexpected shift. So perhaps you've just been through an unexpected shift. Change in plans, job transition, adaptability tested, redirection towards purpose. So perhaps right now there's a shift happening in your career because you're being redirected towards your purpose or your mission. Could have been a change in friendships, a change in a living situation. And we get very comfortable, right? We get comfortable staying in our comfort zone. I'm repeating words. And change can be hard, but change means we're growing. It means I'm hearing the edge of evolution is messy. So just trust, if there's been some unexpected shift in your energy, it's redirecting you. Remember, rejection is divine protection is what I'm hearing. Redirection is protection. So whatever this is, perhaps you're feeling emotional about it. Yeah, we have inner child healing, reconnecting with joy, soothing old wounds, playful rediscovery, safe to be soft again. So perhaps as a child, you were someone who struggled with change, or maybe you went through a lot of change when you were younger. Maybe you moved around a lot. I want to get one more for this. Well, we have the hard truth on the bottom. Knows the truth, not romanticizing potential, facing reality, healing, not chasing. So for whoever you are, perhaps right now you are really focused on your inner child healing. Being redirected towards purpose now that you're not chasing someone, now that you're not chasing answers outside of you, you're going within for those answers. All right. And it can be hard to see the truth, right? To hit breaking point. It can be hard to see the truth when you're acting from a wounded inner child. So just trust that if something in your life right now is shifting, it's for a reason, whether it's your job. I am the source of my own happiness and prosperity. That's your affirmation, and that is truth. So just know, job transition, your adaptability is being tested. It may be pushing you outside of your comfort zone. But it's giving you a chance to focus, right? Healing, not chasing. And oftentimes when we're chasing things outside of ourselves, it's because our little wounded inner child is needing our attention. So right now you're really being guided or encouraged towards focusing on your purpose and healing. I almost said your person. No. No. Maybe this shift has happened, right? With someone, love related. It's happening so that you can focus on self. All right, let's get a few more. Divine detour, exactly. Divine detour. I just said it. Spirit closed the deck. We have toxic comfort, hard to let go, familiar chaos, repeating cycles, learning self-worth. And I'm going to bring Jenny up from Forrest Gump. You know, when she was a little girl in that movie, right? She couldn't grow wings and fly away, even though that's what she wanted to do. And then in that movie, she continued to repeat the same cycle. She continued to call in partners that treated her just like her father treated her. And because it was comfortable, right? It might not feel comfortable when you're in it, but there's something familiar about it. It's why people self-sabotage when things are good, if they're used to chaos. So whatever you're coming from, whether it's a work situation, a friend situation, or a love situation, right? Hard to let go of familiar chaos. It's familiar. Familiar stems from the word familial, which stems from family. So we unconsciously, before we start healing our inner child, we unconsciously find ourselves repeating patterns of the past, even though we can sometimes see it, right? We see the red flags. You could have grown up, I'm hearing it, I'm going to say it. You could have grown up feeling like watching your parents' dynamic and feeling, I want something different for my life. But then maybe you found yourself repeating a very familiar cycle, and you even saw the red flags and was like, this reminds me of my childhood. We can become addicted to chaos, especially if we grew up in chaos. Very hard to let go. So you could have had a really hard time letting go of this job, this friendship, this love ship, I'm hearing. And that's why you're being redirected, right? I always talk about the tower. We get the red flags. We're in the tower. Archangel Michael is showing us it's not stable, right? That tower is shaking. But we stay in it, hoping that we can make it more stable or fix things. And eventually we get divine intervention. We get thrown out of that tower. The universe takes matters into their own hands. Delay with purpose. Rejection becomes protection. Redirection towards alignment. Universe at work. And this is not in your highest alignment, right? And it can be hard, again, it can be hard when you are seeing someone as, you know, a soulmate or a counterpart connection or meant to be. It can be hard when it has that familiarity of your childhood, because it can almost feel subconsciously, right? It's almost like you're trying to repair what happened to you in childhood through this other person, maybe through trying to fix them or fix the situation. But again, we can only overlook red flags so long before that tower will fall. And usually by that point, we're in our resentment, right? We're in our, I can't believe they treated me this way, when we really should be saying, I can't believe I let them treat me that way, right? So whatever this unexpected shift is, right? Whatever this divine detour is, it's to point you towards mission and inner child healing. So that's your focus right now, or that should be your focus right now. All right. I know Spirit closed the deck, but I'm hearing to get more, so I'm going to get more. Unexpected shift. Actually, I want one more for right there. One more for this collective, Spirit. We have moving in silence. Private progress, quiet confidence, protecting energy. That's good. So right now you're being guided to protect your energy for a reason. And again, perhaps you weren't protecting your energy. You were accepting less than you deserved, or you were overlooking red flags. So Spirit caused a detour, right? To redirect you into alignment. When obstacles, I'm seeing the elephant, when obstacles are put in our way, when we hit that wall, when we hit resistance, it's because we're going the wrong way. All right, unexpected shift. We have big realization, sudden clarity, hidden truth revealed, perspective shift, mind-body alignment. So this unexpected shift that's happening, it's meant to lead to a big realization. It's meant to bring you clarity, right? And I always talk about it when we're in a situation, again, whether it's whatever this is, right? Whether it's love, work, friendship, family, when we're in the situation and we're looking at it like this, we can't see it clearly. And I feel like this is all going to make sense if it isn't already, right? If you haven't had this big realization yet, I'm seeing the full circle card, right? So if you haven't had this big realization yet, it's coming. Breakthrough moment, sudden clarity, a shift in perspective. So another thing is, whatever this is, you weren't seeing it clearly. We have end scene, so something had to end here. This says closure achieved. I'm not sure if you're there yet, but that's what I mean. It's supposed to bring you a realization, the situation that you're in right now. And acceptance brings freedom. So oftentimes we try and fight endings, or we question them, or we overanalyze them. And you're being guided to accept this detour because it's leading you somewhere better. All right. Divine detour. I'm seeing the elephant. Divine detour. Again, it's the same message, right? It's divine detour. Rejection becomes protection. So there was something you needed to see the truth about so that you would stop chasing. Healing, not chasing. So again, I said it before. This divine detour, rejection becomes protection. The universe is at work. Trust the universe, right? You're meant to be focused on healing right now, not chasing fulfillment, happiness, love outside of you. And it says healing, not chasing. So I do feel that you were looking outside of yourself. We have mixed signals. Okay. Confused intentions, says one thing, does another, emotionally inconsistent, unsure of what they want. And I talk about this all the time, the slot machine analogy, right? When someone is being inconsistent, when someone is breadcrumbing, when someone is hot and cold, when it's push-pull, it causes you to become codependently attached. It causes cognitive dissonance, confusion between the head and the heart, so you can't actually hear your intuition. It makes you question yourself, question your worth. And eventually you do hit your breaking point, right? I was talking about overlooking red flags. This is a red flag. And I'm not saying this to, put you down. I can only talk about this because I've been there. But it's like that slot machine, right? You just keep giving your energy to it, hoping that you're going to get the big jackpot, and that big jackpot never comes. And then again, it releases a hormone where you become addicted to it. So this is what you were being. Rejection becomes protection. So if this person with mixed signals rejected you, it was for your own protection. But we can only take so much before we hit our breaking point, right? I'm seeing the Queen of Cups, the Queen of, like, the reversal, the shadow, where the Queen of Cups, they give, they overgive. And then they become resentful because they run out of that energy that they're giving, because they're not getting it back, right? Energy doesn't flow between two people if only one person is showing up consistently. It can't. The energetic cords tangle. I've explained this before. I had a cord to explain it, but I don't right now. I could use my charger. My very long charger that's caught in my plant. But it's like, this is energy between two people, right? It flows. But if you're giving, I'm seeing temperance now in reverse. If you're giving, and they're not reciprocating that energy, they're giving you mixed signals, those energetic cords become twisted. And that's when the resentment starts, and the arguments, and asking for more time and energy. So you're being redirected for a reason, because whoever this is emotionally inconsistent. Their actions don't match their words. You're unsure of what they want, so it leaves you in limbo. And that's why you're being, and you can't hear your intuition when you're dealing with that energy, right? Breaking point, emotionally drained. That's exactly what happens. Maybe you're someone who doesn't like giving up, right? But it's not about giving up, it's about choosing self. So right now, Spirit has put a block here to make you realize the truth. So that you're, like, not romanticizing potential, right? I understand seeing the potential in someone, their higher self, right? You see the potential of who they could be if they just awakened, or if they just healed, or if they just whatever. But you can't build a solid foundation on potential. And where is it taking you? It's taking you to an intuitive awakening, because how can you hear your intuition if there's confusion between the head and the heart? Heightened awareness, trusting your gifts, clear downloads guided by inner knowing. And your inner knowing, your intuition, you couldn't hear it, is what I'm seeing. So you're being redirected to not accept mixed signals, inconsistent energy, to focus on your purpose, to tap in with your inner truth, your intuition. Maybe you're someone who's been looking outside of yourself to validate your intuition. Although, I don't know, this energy, like, you wouldn't even be able to hear your intuition or trust it. If somebody was giving you mixed signals, if someone's words weren't matching their actions, it causes self-doubt within us. All right, toxic comfort. Toxic comfort. Positive outlook, clean energy, right? That toxic, being stuck in that toxic energy will drain you. It'll drain you of your essence, I'm hearing. We have glow up revenge, but no revenge. Interesting. So, hang on. Why isn't it stopping? You don't need to get revenge. You don't need to get revenge, right? That toxic comfort. We have to take accountability for how long we stayed in it, right? But you don't need to get revenge. I don't even like that word revenge. But this is your chance to learn self-worth. Maybe this person, like maybe whoever this is, whatever it is watching you. Who cares? Watching from afar. Who cares? Spying on your social. Who cares? Regretting lost access. I would too if I missed out on you. But anybody who's watching you from the shadows is still in their toxic comfort, is what I'm hearing. So who cares? Focus on your new beginning. Fated encounter. New beginnings, positive outlook, clean energy. That's what ready for aligned opportunities, right? I'm seeing the Four of Cups. When that person is sitting there looking at the 3 cups, like just staring at the 3 cups, worrying about the 3 cups, and spirit's like trying to give an opportunity to that person, but they're not seeing it because they're focused on the wrong thing. So spirit's redirecting your focus. Self-worth, childhood healing, mission. Inner child healing. Inner child healing. We have realignment, values shifting. Values shifting, outgrowing the old, returning into balance, choosing a new direction. And that's what I meant about Jenny. When she was a kid, I say this all the time. When she was a kid, she couldn't just choose a different direction, right? When we're kids, we learn how to survive. We learn how to protect ourselves when we're growing up by possibly, this says, I don't even want to look at this card, but it talks about unspoken truth, right? And boundaries and things like that. So if you grew up in a household where there were red flags, right? You can't say anything when you're a child. It kind of becomes normal. You learn how to protect yourself. You learn how to shrink and adapt. You learn how to walk on eggshells. You learn how to be quiet. You learn how to not annoy your caregivers, right? But that's not how it should be later on in life. Because as adults, we can put up boundaries. We can choose ourselves. And that's why it's so important to break the cycle, right? We don't want to repeat the same cycle. Like, I found myself in the exact same cycle I was in when I was a child. I felt like I was my mother, dealing with the same thing she dealt with that I witnessed growing up. And it took me so long to realize, wait a minute, I can remove myself from this cycle and break it, right? And when you do inner child healing, which is what you're being called to focus on right now, your values shift. You no longer want the chaos. You no longer want the mixed signals or the crumbs, right? You outgrow that old version of yourself. And you reconnect with the version you were before all of that programming and trauma affected you. Choosing a new direction, right? Like Jenny, she wanted to grow wings. You can grow wings. You're not Jenny. Breadcrumbs. Get out of here. Mixed signals, inconsistent effort, emotional avoidance keeps the door half open. Right? So as a child, I was just talking about this. As a child, right, your parents could have given you mixed signals, put in inconsistent effort. They weren't there for you emotionally, right? So you learned how to survive. That's why it feels familiar to you. So you probably found yourself trying to survive in a situation with someone where you were getting mixed signals, and on the bottom we have unspoken needs. So you probably felt like you couldn't speak up about it, and maybe if you did, it caused conflict, right? Choose a new direction. No more crumbs. No more. Mr. Crow agrees. No more crumbs. I'm hearing no more pain, no more drama. Mary J. Blige. Moving in silence. On the top we have glow up era. This is your chance to grow those wings and fly far, far, far away and glow up. And when was Jenny her happiest? When she chose love. Anyway, Glow up era, confidence rising, reclaiming power, no longer seeking validation, becoming unforgettable, because that's what you are, unforgettable. And some of you may already be in this glow up energy, but I feel called to talk about it, which means some of you aren't. Maybe some of you need to hear that truth, right? Moving in silence. Moving in silence. And when you heal that inner child, mixed signals, inconsistency, people who their actions don't match their words, it becomes unattractive to you. Soul family, soul family. Okay, this makes sense. So right now you're moving in silence. Right now I'm seeing the hermit, spiritual isolation. So perhaps you've been on your journey for a while, but you are doing it all alone, right? Without support, without soul family. This has been coming through in my readings a lot recently because there's a lot of people evolving. And we're meant to align with our soul tribe. That's powerful, right? They help us ascend. And keep in mind, I was moving in silence for a very long time myself, especially when you're healing those inner child wounds and you're healing and you're healing and you're healing and you're healing, right? And part of you is afraid that if you make new connections, friendship, love, whatever, like what if you can't trust that person? Or but by going through healing, you learn how to trust yourself. You learn, right? After going through this inner child healing, values shifting, redirection towards alignment, making different choices, walking away from unhealthy situations, you begin to trust yourself to know that if that breadcrumb energy ever comes back in, I'm not accepting it, right? I'm not starving anymore. So it says private progress, quiet confidence, protecting energy, plans kept sacred. So now this card makes sense because this is your last card. So whoever you are, you've been moving in silence. You've been moving alone. And us spiritual beings are not meant to be in our hermit caves forever. Eventually we have to apply these lessons in real life with people, with connections, so that we can have those full circle moments, right? So that we can learn how to trust again. It starts by trusting yourself first, though. And at the first sign of at the first sign of toxicity, at the first sign of chaos, or someone breadcrumbing you, or someone fill in the blank, trusting yourself that you see that red flag right away and you make a different choice and you say no. So moving in silence. Right now you're Mr. Crow. You're keeping to yourself, maybe to protect yourself, right? Because it says protecting energy. But then we have this where did it go? We have this soul family card, right? So for a lot of you, I feel like your soul tribe you're trying to find each other. Soul contract, you're meant to meet at a specific point in your journey. And the only way to meet your soul family is to get out of that spiritual isolation, right? To put yourself out there. A lot of people have been coming up on my Instagram reels that are sharing their voice, whether it's about self-love, whether it's about spirituality, whatever. And they're just doing it to get their voice out there and meet the people that they have things in common with and want to align with, and who cares if you don't get many likes, right? How else are you supposed to find your people? It's not about going viral. It's about finding your tribe. And that happens when you put yourself out there. Because again, we can heal and heal and heal and heal. We can heal and heal and heal in isolation. but we're meant to connect. We're meant to get back out there and connect with people and to put these lessons into action, into practice in our everyday life. Chosen connections, right? So right now you're moving in silence. But there's this soul family that wants to come in. There's this soul family that'll help you ascend even further, right? And I know I talk about the friends that have come into my life, but it's for a reason. Maybe you're someone, the reason that I'm talking about this, the only reason I'd be talking about this or getting this download is if you feel this way. I'm somebody that felt like I would never have friends that understood me, or friends that matched my energy. I was always calling in like familiar chaos and breadcrumbs and inconsistency, right? And for a while on my journey, I was very isolated. And I told you guys that 2 years ago, I felt inspired to just take action towards somebody I did a reading for who was in my comment section. And now she's so important to me. And then Bree is a perfect example as well. I don't know why I'm seeing this. Did I mention this in a reading? I can't remember if I mentioned it to you in a reading or if I mentioned it to one of my friends, but what happens is when you meet your soul tribe, you help each other ascend. Because you're vibing on the same frequency. And when you are connected to someone who's not on the same frequency, right, they actually lower your energy. And again, I'm just going to take a moment to talk about soul family because we spend so much time chasing love outside of ourselves, right? When we find that love within and then we put ourselves out there, we attract in people who are like us, who are on the same frequency as us. And when you find somebody who's in your soul tribe, it just clicks. I always focus on the light in my life, and it's 111, right? So if you're connecting to someone and you don't see that light and they don't see your light, you don't want to be around somebody who doesn't see your light and value your presence. Friends, love, whatever. Anyway, soul family, soul tribe energy. Bree and I connecting triggered something within us. It triggered something within us. And she said it in a reading the other day perfectly. If she had come into my life before right now, I wouldn't have known how to appreciate her. Like I wouldn't appreciate it because I was so used to the familiar chaos. That's what you're being redirected towards right now. Healing that inner child. And again, when you heal and ascend, we have this fear that, oh my gosh, we're gonna keep calling in the same toxic things. No, we don't. We don't, because we're at a different frequency. So we call in higher frequency people, higher frequency connections, higher vibrational. And when it's aligned, you know it, because it doesn't feel like a big ball of confusion and resistance, right? It feels like an energetic dance. It feels like boo, boo, like ping, 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 like your energy just bounces off of each other. So you're moving in silence. Spirit wants you to take a step outside of your comfort zone so that you can find your soul tribe, because they're looking for you too. And you're being redirected for a reason, right? Unexpected shift. You're being redirected for a reason. All right. So, I'm going to look at your energy now. I'm going to use a Divine Feminine deck, and we're going to see what your energy is. And I just saw 333. We're going to see what your energy is right now. Your feminine energy. All right. Your energy. One shuffle. Divine Feminine energy. Divine Feminine energy. Or I should just say we're checking your feminine energy. We have manifest. What are you trying to manifest? Intuition. Suppression. Emotionally numb, not allowing yourself to think or feel things, bottling up emotions, right? When you're in a connection where you have to bottle up your emotions, or when you're in the energy of bottling up your emotions, right? You can't hear your intuition. If you have any connections in your life where you have to suppress yourself because you're worried you'll be too much, right? Be too much. The people who are meant to be in your energy won't think you're too much. All right, your energy. That came out so quick. Synchronicities, signs you're on the right path, seeing angel numbers everywhere. Healing! Okay, so if you are seeing synchronicities, there's a reason. They're about you, right? So what are the synchronicities you're seeing? Pay attention. What do they mean to you? Seeing angel numbers everywhere. And then we have healing, accepting and processing painful experiences and emotions, working towards emotional well-being. Exactly. So maybe you've been seeing signs and synchronicities about this inconsistent person. Listen to those dogs. That could be a sign, right? Instead of taking it that that's about your person, take it as a sign that it's about you. So pay attention to the synchronicities Spirit is sending you right now, right? Spirit sends synchronicities for a reason, and they're for you, is what I'm hearing. Your energy. Your energy. Signs. You're really receiving signs, right? And I saw that, like, that Divine Detour card, right? There was a couple of them that I thought there were signs on, but maybe like this, clearly you're seeing signs. Receiving guidance, reassurance, or messages related to your current situation from Spirit. Seeing signs pointing them towards the Divine Masculine. So if you are seeing signs and synchronicities that make you think of the masculine, right? Because I'm checking your feminine energy. You're being called to look at your masculine energy. Your masculine energy. Not theirs, yours. So I am going to pull from that masculine deck for you on what you need, what your masculine energy is right now, because we're supposed to have a balance. We're supposed to have a balance. But it almost feels like you think the signs are about them. They're not. They're about you. We have chaos. We have chaos. Experiencing confusion, turmoil. So So we do have this chaos energy, and it's coming out the same row, pretty much, as the toxic chaos comfort in your other, the other deck that I pulled. So, you know, you could be someone who is being redirected. There could have been a tower moment. Rejection is protection. And you could be somebody who is seeing all these signs and synchronicities that you have, that you're thinking are about your masculine, but they're actually about you. So you could be walking around seeing all, like, their car, their name, their birthday, their, like, whatever signs you see that make you think of them, causing utter chaos in your mind because you're like, what are you trying to tell me, Spirit? What are you trying to tell me? Why are you showing me them? Spirit's showing you to go within and look at your masculine energy, is what I'm hearing. And we have abundant. So Spirit's, again, I feel like Spirit is showing you signs to show you that you're on the right path, that you have everything you need within you, not outside of you, and to trust the universe to guide you. But again, some of these signs and synchronicities, you could be, it says right on the card, pointing them towards the divine masculine, but it's pointing you towards your masculine energy and what needs to be worked on or balanced within your masculine energy. And you know, I am going to start talking about that around here because for so long I was only talking about feminine energy, feminine energy, feminine energy, but we need to have that balance. So those signs aren't meant to confuse you, they're meant to redirect you, right? Towards your own inner masculine. All right. Transformation. Whoops. One more. That came out so quick. Inner light. A divine presence held within to enlighten and guide their soul. Right? And again, it's exactly where that moving in silence, quiet confidence, and soul family was. Same row. So right now you're working on your inner light here, right? Everything you need is within you. But what I'm hearing, just because of those other cards that were here from that other deck, is that that's how you find your soul tribe. That's how you find what's aligned for you, by shining your light. Not hiding it away in a cave forever, right? All right, trust your inner guidance. All right, signs. Guidance. It's guidance for you. Guidance from higher self, spirit, trusted family or friends, anyone with wisdom. So these signs are meant to guide you. They're meant to guide you. You. So what do they mean to you? Take anybody else out of it. And we have doubt. So you could be doubting. You could be going outside of yourself for validation here, right? Because it says guidance from higher self, spirit, trusted family or friends, anyone with wisdom, right? But you have that wisdom within you is what I'm hearing, because it says doubt. Feeling uncertain about your relationship with interesting. Again, these signs that you're receiving, you could be thinking they're from that person or about that person, but really it's from your higher self telling you not to doubt your journey, that you're on the right path. And again, if it's making you think of them, inner masculine, look at your inner masculine. Signs, again, signs. We have trust. Mission! I love it. Trusting in your journey, your divine path. Right? So you're receiving guidance or messages related to your current situation, and Spirit's telling you to trust in your journey. Again, if you think, it says, seeing signs pointing them towards the divine masculine, Spirit's asking you to trust. But I can't stress enough, Spirit wants you to look at your divine masculine energy. And we have joy. Joy comes from within, happiness, pleasure, gratitude. Spirit's trying to redirect you towards inner joy, inner happiness, to shining your light. And it's about more, like, I know we joke, it's about more than like walking through your kitchen and seeing 11:11 and being like, oh, everything's working out. There are like, Spirit sends you signs and synchronicities everywhere. Spirit's reminding you your joy doesn't come from outside of you over there. It comes from within. And now we have mission work. So Spirit's actually guiding you to focus on your masculine energy so that you can go after your mission. And I always say you need that Emperor energy if you're going to go after your mission, because it involves taking bold action. It involves having confidence and trusting in yourself, right? Passionate, like you're being guided to passionately spread your inner light mission. And I could tell with that divine detour. Morning dove outside. You're meant to be focusing on inner child healing, aligning with your soul tribe and your mission. Divine feminine, if you truly are divine feminine, you would want to help the world. Chaos. That's your middle card. Same with that. I think the toxic, I can't remember, but I think the toxic, familiar chaos, toxic comfort was your middle card. I'll have to look. Wally, you made a stinky. I am feeling the calmness running through my veins. That's your affirmation. How can you feel calmness when you're in chaos, right? And again, a lot of people who grew up in a chaotic situation, there is a comfort, there's like a comfortable feeling when you're in chaos, unconsciously. You don't realize it. Chaos. You're meant to be embodying your divine energy. Goddess. Mission. All right. Chaos. Do you know what I'm finding cool too about Soul Tribe? Calling in your Soul Tribe is that I believe that I have a mission with my Soul Tribe, right? I do the collaboration with Michelle with the birth charts, and now I feel like Brie and I have some sort of mission. And Bestie, Sunflower Bestie, I'm not forgetting about you. I still think your voice needs to be heard in this world. Chaos. And when mission workers unite, when mission workers connect, powerful. Change. Creativity. So you're being asked to release the chaos and focus on your creativity. This is so that you can tap into your potential. If you're dealing with a chaotic situation or you're feeling chaotic, how can you tap into your creative potential? How can you feel inspired to pursue your dreams, right? Divine feminine, creative flow. Oh my gosh, there's a group chat happening on my phone between my partner and my kids about what to get at Tim Hortons, and it's just like, oh my goodness. We have telepathy here, able to hear each other's thoughts and converse mentally, able to sense each other's feelings and moods, right? So some of this chaos you're picking up on could connect to somebody else. It's not your chaos to hold. if you are out of nowhere feeling chaotic energy, right? Somebody could be sending you that energy or thinking of you. You're picking up on somebody's threads. Protect your energy. Ground yourself. Put your hand over your heart and ask yourself, is this actually my energy that I'm feeling, or is it somebody else's? Right? If you're feeling like somebody is pulling on your energy, redirect your energy towards something creative. I just kind of want to... Inspiration, new and creative ideas, making other people want to do or achieve something. Mission. So what are you feeling inspired to pursue? This is what this divine detour is about. It's about you, right? You could have felt like you were on the train going to a certain destination, but Spirit dropped you off somewhere unexpected. It's because you're meant to be focusing on self right now. Invisible, healing childhood wounds. Oh, childhood wound, feeling the need to be seen, feels worthless or flawed, wanting to feel valued and always trying to prove your worth. You don't have to prove your worth to the right people. You could feel the need to be seen, but then be afraid of being seen, right? Feeling worthless and flawed. You could feel too flawed to put yourself out there. Nobody's perfect, right? I think Spirit wants you to start seeing yourself, which will happen when you start recognizing who you are, Simba. Recognize who you are. Giving yourself more credit. You aren't meant to be invisible. You're meant to be seen. You're meant to inspire others. You're meant to share your light with this world. And to help others feel seen. But to me, feeling seen starts with us seeing ourselves, right? And when we don't feel seen, we look outside of ourselves for someone to see us. And then my experience, right, when I could finally see myself, when I could finally recognize my own worth, I started calling in Soul Tribe, people who saw me because I could see myself. Yeah, you don't need to chase it. We have chasing here. You're supposed to be transforming chasing energy right now. A painful and overwhelming energy wanting to connect with the divine masculine so badly it consumes them. Why am I seeing the nothing in the never-ending story? Finding themselves becoming relentless in the pursuit of the divine masculine. When really, I feel like neglect wound, right? Neglect wound. Chasing love outside of yourself. Where's my book? Where's my book? Where's my book? It's all the way over there. Hang on. So, the mirror, right? When two people have similar wounds, neglect wound, you attract each other in and you reflect back at each other that neglect wound, but you compensate for it in very different ways. So where you had a neglect wound, right? Maybe you weren't seeing yourself, valuing yourself, but you could see this person and value this person. But they weren't seeing you, triggering that neglect wound within you. And they have a neglect wound. So they feel uncomfortable being seen and valued, so they push it away. I opened up to the exact page. I was meant to read it to you. Do not chase love. Do not beg for it. If it is not freely given, it is not love. The neglect wound is not just about what was done to you. It's about what wasn't. It was the love that was withheld, the comfort that never came. So you've been, right? You've been, whoever you are, chasing people, situations outside of yourself, people to be proud of you, people to give you credit, people to see you, people to value you and recognize you when that comes from within. If we don't see our own worth, how is anybody else supposed to see our worth, right? The neglect wound is not about what was done to you. It is about what wasn't. It is the love that was withheld, the comfort that never came, the emotional presence that was absent when you needed it the most. This wound convinces you that your needs are too much. You're never too much for the right people. That your pain is invisible, and that love must be earned rather than freely given. It manifests as self-sufficiency to the point of isolation, people-pleasing to avoid abandonment, or deep struggles with receiving love and care, right? And that's what I was talking about with my friendships. It's funny, Brie and I are a lot alike, and I wouldn't have been able to receive the love from her or any other of my beautiful friends until I saw it within myself. I hope that makes sense. You may fear, I'm going to stop saying that. It'll make sense to the right person. You may fear being a burden, struggle to trust that others will show up for you, or subconsciously seek validation from those who remain emotionally distant. Repeating the cycles, hoping this time it'll be different, right? And it wouldn't just be this person. You would attract this in at work, in different friendships throughout your life, repeating cycles, right? Healing the neglect wound begins with giving yourself what was denied: attention, care, presence, and unconditional love. It requires unlearning the belief that your needs are unimportant and embracing the truth that you are always worthy of love and support. You are not meant to go through life unseen. You are not a burden for needing connection. I'm thinking of a line that I didn't get in The Family Stone until last year when I watched it. If you've ever seen that movie, it's like a Christmas movie. I love that movie. I love that movie. But the parents are going to bed, and the dad says, his name is Kelly, his dad says about his son's girlfriend, she doesn't really seem to know herself very much, which means I'm worried our son doesn't know who he is. Mirror. Anyway. When you stop waiting for someone else to prove your worth and start showing up for yourself, you break the cycle. The love you seek was never outside of you. It was always within you to claim all along. Start treating yourself the way you want others to treat you, right? I talk about this. If you're accepting inconsistent energy from someone, how are you showing up inconsistently for yourself? Be that consistent person for yourself. Self-care consistently. Right? Rest consistently. Tapping into your creativity consistently. And this is the different way, the ways it shows up. So you would have attracted someone, right? Or multiple people throughout your life that mirrored this back to you. And again, two people can have the exact same wound and show up very differently. A deeply ingrained sense of emotional, physical, or psychological deprivation, often resulting from childhood neglect, emotional unavailability, or unmet needs. This wound manifests as feelings of invisibility. Hello? That was weird. It's my son outside. Low self-worth and difficulty advocating for one's needs, right? Suppression of voice, we saw it in your cards. I'm getting Phoenix energy. As past experiences may have taught that expressing needs leads to rejection or disappointment. Is that what you did here? Did you express your needs and this person did a runner? Well, then they weren't ready to meet you. Some may struggle with self-nurturing, feeling undeserving of care and attention, while others may seek validation and recognition externally, believing they must prove their worth to receive love. There may be an internalized belief that one must be self-sufficient to survive, leading to hyper independence, avoidance of intimacy. I'm looking at you, you runners. Oh my gosh, it is so humid here. Where was I? Avoidance of intimacy or difficulty trusting others to provide support. Emotionally, this wound can create cycles of loneliness, deep sadness, or fear of being forgotten. Physically, it may manifest as chronic fatigue, a tight chest, digestive issues. Over time, unresolved neglect can lead to patterns of overgiving, emotional numbness, or an inability to feel truly connected in relationships. Watch for patterns of neglecting self-care, tolerating one-sided relationships, or feeling unworthy of being prioritized by others, right? And oftentimes we'll say to someone, if we feel unprioritized, someone, like we've attracted someone with this wound, right? I feel like you don't prioritize me, or it'd be nice if you prioritize me, or however you word it. And they may react to that. Anyway, suppressing the neglect wound by either denying personal needs altogether or overcompensating by becoming excessively self-reliant or attention-seeking. Some may internalize the neglect, convincing themselves that they don't need love, care, or emotional support, shutting down emotionally to avoid the pain of disappointment, leading to mixed signals and inconsistency. This can manifest as rejecting help. That Tim Hortons chat, it's over now. Oh my gosh. This can manifest as rejecting help, avoiding deep connections, or prioritizing others while never allowing themselves to receive. Others may go in the opposite direction, constantly seeking attention, reassurance, or external validation to fill the void of past neglect. This can result in overextending in relationships, fearing abandonment, or engaging in self-destructive behaviors to be seen. Some may suppress this wound by minimizing their own suffering, believing that their needs are not that important or that they should never rely on others. Watch for patterns of rejecting nurturing energy, struggling with self-care, or feeling resentful when others fail to recognize unspoken needs. Beneath both extremes lies the same longing, to be seen, valued, and cared for without conditions or the need to earn love. Right? So, again, you and this person could have really triggered that within each other. But yeah, let's move on. Spirit wants you to know that you're abundant and that you have everything you need within you. Right? And oftentimes when we think about change, or we think about changing jobs, or we think about going after our mission, self-limiting beliefs come in, right? Well, we need this before we can start, or I need this, or I need this amount of money, or whatever it is. No, everything you have is within you. And this is giving me 9 of Cups energy, 9 of Pentacles energy. When you get to this energy where you know you have everything you need within you and you don't need anything outside of you, you make healthier choices. Think about that row in that other deck. You choose connections. I gotta plug you in. You choose connections that fulfill you that add value to your life. And if it doesn't add value, it's not aligned with you. If someone's taking value away from your life or something, it's not aligned with you. Anyway, abundant. Maybe this was blocking doubt. You could have doubt that you have everything you need within you. I just said, and when I just said the self-limiting beliefs, the doubt, right? So you could be feeling uncertain that you can have anything you want. You could be doubting that you have enough of what you need. You could be doubting the universe to provide for you and align you where you need to be. And some of that doubt could be coming because you're too focused on that person, right? Hopeless. Oh no, you're being redirected for a reason. Doubt and hopelessness. 444, you're being protected. Doesn't think things will improve with the divine masculine. Focus on you right now. If you're feeling hopeless and full of doubt and you're stop focusing on them. Stop focusing on them. Feels there's no point in trying anymore. And that's what makes me so sad, is when I see people say, they're hopeless, they'll never change, I'm giving up on this journey. It's not about them, it's about you. This journey is nothing, like, it's not about them. It's about you. You are the prize. You are the cake, right? You are the love that you've been chasing outside of yourself all this time. Spirit's telling you, you have enough of what you need, and trust the universe to meet those needs. You have to meet the universe halfway, right? You can't just sit around and wait for things to improve. Wait for the masculine, right? Those are those limiting beliefs. Mirror. If you were feeling hopeless about them, you're really feeling hopeless about yourself, and this journey is about you. Who, like, feeling uncertain about your relationship with them? You need to work on the relationship with yourself and your inner child, remember? And again, do it for you. I say this, do it for you. Don't do it with hidden expectations, right? Is that distorted feminine energy? Don't do it with hidden expectations, right? Oh, I'm going to heal and work on my mission so that I can get that person back. No, you're going to heal and work on your mission so that you can get yourself back, or you're going to heal first. Heal first, and then once you start walking through the fire and having those full circle moments, then you can help others. That makes me sad. There is always hope, especially when it comes to you, right? Why won't things improve with you? You are the maker of your own. Like, you are your creator. Things will improve. That limiting self-doubt, 8 of Swords, right? Limiting self-doubt. You're not actually stuck. If you feel uncertain about your relationship with the divine masculine, you're feeling uncertain about your relationship with yourself. If you're feeling hopeless about them, you're feeling hopeless towards yourself. Which again, your inner child is calling for you. Maybe I'll get an inner child deck for you. Inner light. No, actually, I want one more for this row. Abundant. Tunnel vision, right? Like, you got to redirect it feels like you're hopeless. You've been redirected away from this person for a reason. So you're like tunnel visioned on them, right? That doubt is getting to you. Spirit wants you to tunnel vision on yourself, on everything we've been talking about. Focusing on your goals, your dreams, your visions. You. Building an empire. Mission. Divine masculine energy. I said it. You need to be that emperor to build that empire. We have soulmate here, which is interesting. And we have depressed. Again, it's like too much focus on what's going on over there and not enough focus on what's going on within you. If you are truly on this journey and you are focused on them, only wanting to hear about them, thinking about them, all the signs mean them, what is that reflection saying back to you? I'm hearing that song, Reflection by from the movie Mulan. When will my reflection show who I am inside? Think about it. You're meant to be focused on you, focused on what you're doing, not them. Because we have depressed and a deep connection. And if you do want to help people, you can't help people if you're full of self-doubt and sadness, right? Healing. Spirit wants you to tunnel vision on healing. Accepting and processing these painful experiences and emotions and working towards healthier emotional well-being, which came out in the first deck as well. Inner light. Inner light. Inner light. Awakening. Your little light. I'm hearing this little light of mine. Divine feminine. It's the journey back to yourself. This journey is about you. Right? Everything you need is within you. Awakening. Spiritual ascension. Slowing down to reflect, a shift in priorities and values. Transformation of the inner world, right? Your little light, look how low it is. It should be shining. And that's how you attract in, once that light, like look, it's almost burnt out. They dimmed your light. And again, just to come back, everyone is a mirror, right? If this person wasn't prioritizing you, you're being asked to shift that perspective. You weren't prioritizing yourself. You were prioritizing them or attachment. This connection is to learn lessons, provide personal growth and self-improvement required for your soul's journey. It's not about them, it's about you. And your ascension back to this divine feminine. And maybe last row, right, when your inner light, wherever it went, when your inner light is shining bright, right, calling in your soul tribe, calling in other people who have spiritually ascended, calling in other divine beings. Who get you. One more card of advice for you from this deck, and then we're going to look at your masculine energy. Your masculine energy. And for anybody on this journey, right? If you're willing to sit and watch a reading all about them, you should be willing to sit and watch a reading all about you. And that's what this is. That's what this is. It's about you. Karmic, family, and friends. So what karmic lesson do you keep calling in? I can see what it is. Because I wanted advice for you. You've been calling in people who are meant to balance you out. Spirit wants you to balance your feminine and masculine energies, which is what I was talking about, which is why we're going to look at your masculine energy. So, karmic, family, and friends. A relationship with someone who has been brought back from previous lifetimes to work things out. Right? And karmic connections can be triggering. So I'm seeing the karmic situation that you keep calling in could be confrontational, could be chaotic connections where there's arguments, or the person you're connected to deals with things in an aggressive way. Aggression, distorted masculine energy. So if you're calling in somebody with distorted masculine energy who's aggressive, you need to heal your divine masculine energy or your masculine energy, because that aggressiveness, that anger, all emotions are valid. We need to feel them all. But if you're stuck in it, if you're stuck Or if you're dealing with things in an aggressive way, talking to people in an aggressive way, confronting people in an aggressive way, distorted masculine energy. And I feel like you would have been calling in the same lesson in different people, right? Was your dad aggressive? Have your past partners been aggressive or confrontational? Happiness is a choice, and I've made my choice. I choose my peace. Affirmation. Friends, bosses that are aggressive, that maybe make you shrink and like suppress your voice, right? Another affirmation. I care about how I am received. Spirit really wants you to balance your feminine and masculine energy so that you can call in something more balanced. Masculine energy for you. Masculine energy for you. Lack mentality. Constantly focusing on what they don't have. Start focusing on what you do have. Gratitude. Thinks there isn't enough for everyone. Fear-based thoughts. There is enough love for everyone. I'm going to say it because I was feeling it. I was picking up on this energy. When I'm talking about mission, do you feel like there's not enough room or there's too many people working on their mission? When I was talking about friendships, were you feeling like, oh, that'll never be me, right? Lack mentality. Because I was hearing it when I was talking about it. Anyway, your masculine energy right now. What do we need to know about your masculine energy and what needs tweaking is what I'm hearing. Again, if you're going to watch a reading, about someone else, dedicate that time and energy to watching a reading about you, right? Ghosting. So it feels like I don't know if you ghosted this person, but unable to express feelings in a healthy manner. You may block people, right? Or cut people off, especially if you deal with that confrontational energy, right? Maybe you deal with confrontation so much it's easier for you just to go silent and disappear. Maybe not necessarily with this person, but with other people. Let's see. Your masculine energy. Interesting. Keeping up appearances. Are you masking who you are? Are you hiding your authentic self? That's interesting. Unworthy, not feeling good enough. Doesn't feel they deserve love, attention, and respect. You do. You do. We also have this passion, feeling a magnetic draw towards someone. Who is that person you're feeling a magnetic draw towards? Your feminine energy. Opportunities. Will do whatever they have to do for their advantage. New doors opening, wants to take an opportunity with somebody else. Feeling the magnetic pull. Desiring to connect. It's telling you that your inner soul is desiring to connect with itself. Maybe there's opportunities that you're waiting for, right? I'm looking at this opportunity card and I'm hearing it, so I'm going to say it. You could have opportunities like healing, like mission, like taking a trip, moving, where you're waiting to take that action, Emperor energy, because you're waiting for somebody else to be in your life. Or you're not exploring new opportunities because you're waiting for someone else, is my point. Not feeling good enough. You are good enough. Feeling good enough doesn't come from outside of us, though. It comes from within us. And when we know we're good enough, we no longer accept less than we deserve. You probably attract people who don't make you feel like you deserve love or attention or respect, right? They show you through their actions that they don't respect you and they neglect you. Whoever it is. Same lesson, different person, right? But nobody else can make you feel worthy. That comes from within. And once you find that within, when you come across someone who doesn't see you, doesn't respect you, doesn't give you the attention, neglects you, you say, that's not for me. That's not attractive, right? And please don't, this says keeping up appearances. So maybe you hide who you truly are to be accepted. That's not good either, right? How are you supposed to attract the opportunities and people that are meant to align with you if you're pretending to be somebody else? I'm seeing this, don't try this, please. But I saw a video and I think the caption was, just because you fit doesn't mean it's aligned with you. And it was somebody who unscrewed a light bulb and then they took a water bottle and screwed the water bottle into the light bulb socket and it fit perfectly. Didn't mean it was supposed to be there. Anyway, I don't know why I mentioned that. 2 more. Stalemate, stuck and stagnant. No growth or development. So it feels like you've been neglecting your masculine energy, you, right? So if this person neglected you, it was again telling you that you're neglecting your masculine energy. Suppression, not allowing yourself to think or feel things, bottling up emotions. So you could be suppressing. Like, remember how I said anger, valid emotion, you just don't want to get stuck in it. But if you swallow it, if you suppress it, it comes out in an explosion. So what emotions are you bottling up? Whether it's sadness, whether it's anger, whether it's resentment, write it down, let it out, right? Like, I'm seeing somebody smashing dishes. You know those things that you can go to and smash things to get your anger out? Get it out of your body. Because this is saying there's no growth or development in your masculine energy. So you need to focus on masculine energy as well. Balance. Right? So if you have been avoiding feeling sad over this person, feel sad, grieve it. If you've been avoiding feeling angry, feel it. Otherwise, you're going to explode. 1 more. Mirror, right? If you see them as stuck and stagnant, what's it reflecting back to you? Where are you stuck and stagnant, right? Heartbreak. Sad about the situation with the other person. Overthinking, excessively analyzing situations, dwelling on possible negative outcomes. Like, I saw a video the other day. I wish I remembered what it was about. But it was about, like, just what a waste of energy it is to fear something that hasn't happened yet. right? Sad about the situation with them, experiencing heartbreak. Maybe you've been suppressing grief, right? We talk about divine feminine energy, like unconditional love. It doesn't mean not feeling things. So you could be overthinking about this other person. You could be overthinking on, what if this never happens? What if they, like, just overthinking? That's not your intuition. That's your fear. Opportunities. Lack mentality. Courage. So you could be lacking the courage, the masculine energy, right? To take that, oh, now it all makes sense. Is your right knee sore? Anyway, you could be lacking the masculine strength, that emperor energy to open these doors of opportunity, right? To take action towards your mission, to take action towards your healing, to even take a step forward without this person, right? Maybe part of you is still hanging on. Constantly focused on what you don't have. So there's remember I said I was seeing the Four of Cups. So it's like Spirit's trying to give you these opportunities. You've been redirected for a reason. There's so much beauty on this journey, but your masculine energy is focusing on what you don't have, that there's not enough for everybody. So again, when I was talking about mission, when I was talking about friendship, I was picking up on the energy of someone with fear-based thoughts, like, oh, that'll never be me, or easy for you to say, or whatever you got, whatever those people who were feeling it were feeling, because I picked up on it. But you need to stop focusing on what you don't have and like catastrophizing about what may never happen, right? And start focusing on the opportunities around you, right? If you're missing love in your life, look around at the opportunities for love in your life. Go feed some birds, right? If you want reciprocal energy, go feed the birds. As the bird is out there, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's like this. Birds don't worry about what their song sounds like. That's a message for you. Don't be psyching yourself up to take action towards whoever this is. Don't. Take action towards yourself. If you're feeling called to take action towards who you feel is your masculine mirror, you're being called to take action towards yourself, to protect and provide for yourself. Feeling a magnetic pull. That one wanted to come out. This is interesting because we have feeling a magnetic pull, desiring to connect with who you see as your masculine. This is about your masculine energy though. Am I confusing you yet? But we have denial, self-protection by refusing to accept the truth. And I'm just wondering, like, what I'm hearing is perhaps you're somebody who feels the desire for, I'm seeing Harry Potter. Thou who shall not be named is what I'm hearing. Like, I've been just like pointing in the right. Well, I mean, it's left here, but right. Masculine. You could be denying when you hear readers tell you to go within, right? You could be denying that you have to look at your masculine energy. There's a reason you're feeling that pull, and it has to do with you and your masculine energy within. Like, I'm hearing it. If you're feeling a pull towards this person, right? We're looking at your masculine energy. So if you're feeling a desire towards this person, what you're really desiring is love and nurturing energy from yourself, from your feminine energy. It makes sense up here. I'm not even going to ask, do you know what I mean? Because it says, feeling the magnetic pull towards divine feminine energy, right? So if you're feeling a magnetic pull towards them, it's actually because you're feeling a divine pull towards your divine feminine energy. Your soul wants to be nurtured and cared for and protected, right? Like masculine energy protection. Anyway, it'll make sense to the right person. Unworthy, not feeling good enough. Who did you allow to make you feel like you weren't worthy, right? Because that came from other things. You not feeling worthy. It came from trauma. It came from conditioning. It came from the school system. Maybe this person not seeing your worth. You do deserve love. That starts within. Unworthy. What do you feel unworthy about? What do you feel unworthy about that? Do you feel unworthy of a happy, beautiful, I don't want to say easy, but a life that's in flow? Because you are worthy. This says like hardship, right? Doesn't think they deserve love, attention, or respect. So maybe you're somebody who believes that that things don't work out for you, or that you don't deserve love and happiness. Like when I was talking about friendship and mission and finding your soul family, you could have had those self-limiting beliefs like, I'll never find that. I'm not worthy of that. Even if it just came out as, I'll never find that, really, internally, unconsciously, you may believe that you don't deserve that, right? If your negative limiting beliefs are keeping you stuck. We have deception. So, who deceived you so many times, or what lesson repeated so many times that made you feel like you weren't worthy of love and attention and respect? Whoever that was, like, again, I said it with the feminine energy that I was tapping into with you, right? You could have told this person, you could have tried to speak your truth to this person to assert yourself, masculine energy, and somebody could have told you, your parent, this person, whoever, could have told you that, no, you're not worthy of that, or they could have even gaslit you, right? But again, lack of self-belief here in your masculine energy and hiding your true authentic self. Divine masculine energy knows their worth, right? They stand strong in who they are. So hiding bits of yourself so that because you feel like you don't deserve love or nobody will love you if you're authentic. Authentic love is the shit. Right? That's why I always say, be your authentic self. You'll call in the right people. If somebody doesn't like you for you being your authentic self, they're not aligned with you. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. We have grieving. Have you been suppressing loss? What do you need to grieve? It's okay to cry, right? I was just watching Love Island, which I'm having a really hard time focusing on, which probably means from spirit that I shouldn't be watching it right now. But this girl was like, she's very emotional and she's going through I'm watching the newer one. What's her name? She's with, she was with KC. What's her name? I don't know what her name is. But her mom came in And she's going through like an experience on Love Island, right? She's growing, she's expanding, she's learning about herself. So she was getting emotional. And her mom was like, stop it, stop that, stop it, don't you cry, I'll smack you. Like, it's just like, and she's a grown woman. Some people have a hard time grieving. Some people, self-limiting beliefs, lack mindset, feel like they have to hide their emotions. I'm seeing the shark. When you suppress emotions, they don't disappear, they just get bigger. But you could feel like you're unworthy of crying. If you need to cry, cry. You could feel like it's not strong if you cry. No, there's strength in crying. You could have a self-limiting belief that you can't cry around your kids. Guess what? It's okay to cry around your kids. Normalize it, right? Normalize it, because then they'll be okay sharing their emotions. If you are constantly suppressing your emotions and saying, oh, I shouldn't be crying, it's programmed into us, right? When I'm feeling emotional and it starts leaking out of my eyeballs and I'm downstairs with my kids, I love it, because my kids, who are teenagers, always are like, it's okay to cry, mommy, let it out. Like, it's healthy to cry. And they learn that from me. Separation. I don't think you've grieved this separation yet. You need to grieve it and embrace yourself. Whoops. All right, I'm just gonna get two more. One. I'm seeing a lot, like, I'm not seeing any, there's so many cards in this deck, and I'm not seeing any. I'm seeing all the blocked ones, right? Low self-esteem, negative beliefs about yourself, lack of confidence, feeling bad about yourself because somebody else put that thought in your head, because this person rejected you, because that person wasn't aligned with you, right? There's a real need to focus on your confidence. Because if you have low confidence and you don't know your worth, you're going to continue to attract the same type of people who don't see your worth. And confidence comes from within. It doesn't come from being validated by a friend or by a lover. It comes from within. By doing things, tapping into your creative flow, right? Healing yourself. Because a lot of that low self-esteem, limiting beliefs, feeling unworthy, it stems from childhood wounds. We have third party. This is another one, right? Like, if there's a third party situation, or you've been like, someone chose someone else over you, or prioritized someone else over you, or someone cheated on you, or whatever, the first thing we do is internalize it, right? And say, well, what's low self-esteem? What's wrong with me? What did I do? Why wasn't I enough? And we're so quick to, it's my fault, right? Or we swing the opposite way and get really angry, right? But when there's a third party interference, if they choose a third party interference, or there's a third party interference, it has to do with them and their journey. It's not a reflection of our worth. So if there was a third party situation, or your person chose someone else or ran to someone else to avoid self-reflection, to avoid feeling their feelings, right? That's about them. And I see it all the time where people internalize it, right? Or they get very aggressive, like, and angry. All right. I'm going to get you some tarot and ask specifically. Actually, let's get an animal card for you. Animal card. Animal card, animal card. So what does Spirit want us to know? We have the beaver. Listen. Yeah, the octopus. Yearning, lacking direction, right? Lacking boundaries. Or is that the right card? But we have the beaver, which is about to bring into balance selfless service. Mission. I opened right up to the octopus. Reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries or direction. The octopus signifies a wonderfully perceptive mind paired with the lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in well-intended but messy relationships. The octopus entwines itself in other people's business and shares their own without restraint. They believe that that's what it means to be close. If you notice, after spending time with someone you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of the octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Be patient and firm. It may be a very old habit to change. So yeah, you could really struggle with boundaries, putting up boundaries because of fear of abandonment, fear of speaking your truth out of fear of rejection. You could attract like people who drain your energy. Well-intended but messy relationships, right? To bring into balance, space to oneself, talk therapy. And then we have the beaver. I wonder, why do I always look at Earth for the beaver? Always, every time. It's water, it's water, it's water, it's water. Hard worker, loyal, tireless. So like clearly you put other people before you, right? You're dependable when it comes to other people. In connections, you're dependable. You give, you're a hard worker. And that could wear you out. And listen to this. The beaver card appears when the task at hand requires your long-term steady effort. What's the task at hand? Journey back to self. When in balance, happy, meaningful work, feeling like you're making a difference, right? Selfless service. When out of balance, feels useless and worn out because you're giving to everybody else, right? February 25th could be symbolic. So, what do I want to ask? Let's see what Spirit wants to tell me about your current energy or how Spirit's currently seeing you. How is Spirit currently seeing you? The stingray, lacking confidence, developing a sense of self, right? I don't know how many times I was told. The hawk, change, unexpected shift, the hawk. This shift is happening for a reason. Anyway, my friend used to tell me all the time, you're spineless. That's a weird one to reflect about. She was right, which is why I let her say that to me. Right? I love the stingray. This has probably been hovering around you for a while. Developing confidence, sense of self or spine. When in balance, eager and wants to grow. You should want to hear about yourself. When out of balance, blames others and quits. To bring into balance, move through the discomfort, right? So that's the thing. Like, when out of balance, you could be someone. Like, when I was just talking about my friend, I noticed I didn't say, what a terrible friend for saying that to me. No. I reflected and I was like, she would call me spineless and I would, ha ha ha, right? She was right. I was spineless. I couldn't even say to her, that hurts when you say that to me, right? But anyway, a lot of the time when things go wrong, not a lot of the time, but when you are in shadow, the unhealed parts of you could blame others. It's all them. It's all the third party, right? Or want to quit the journey. When in balance, eager, wants to grow. I want to hear about myself, right? I want to heal. I want to know how to do this. I want to journey back to myself. To bring into balance, move through the discomfort. I think I already said that. So you're at a pivotal point in personal growth. That's why this shift is happening. It's why you're being redirected within. The moment has come when the stingray, and this goes for, like, this isn't just if you resonate with a counterpart. This is like for an unhealthy work situation, for an unhealthy friendship situation, family situation, like, it's about healing. Anyway. The moment has come when the stingray must decide between the old, easy, comfortable, and familiar. Familiar, right? Chaos. Even though it's not easy or comfortable, it feels comfortable because we're used to it. And the new, challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. Pressure from family and friends makes the decision even more complicated. Hello. No matter what choice is made now, it's inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again as the force of Dharma growing within the stingray is too strong to ignore. I am loving and I become loved. You're so loving, right? Love yourself. Just go in the litter box. Don't you dare. No. Mm-hmm. Oh, Wally. Wally. Oh. Did you guys hear his little toot? I love you, Wally. See, nobody's perfect. I already read the stingray. Anyway. It'll continue to circle around you. It'll continue to circle around you. The stingray, it'll hover. The lesson will repeat until you learn how to put up those boundaries, until you learn to grow that confidence, distorted masculine energy. That's why this shift is happening. The cobra! When the lesson is ready, when the student is ready to learn the lesson, the teacher appears. You're ready for this. You've been preparing for this your whole life. It's time, Simba. It is time. One more from Spirit. One more for you. Felt like it wanted to come out. The mouse. Oh, scared, anxious. We have the oyster. Are you afraid to shine? Do you take your inner gifts for granted? Are you lacking the confidence to share your inner gifts with the world or to shine your light with the world, right? Are you being too hard on yourself? Are you being too nitpicky on yourself? Oh, that stinks. It stinks. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's triggering a song. I think it's from Romeo and Juliet with Claire Danes and Leonardo DiCaprio, and I don't even know why I know that because I've only ever seen that movie once, I think, and I don't remember it. I think it's called Beautiful. What the hell, man? Did you see me shuffle out that card? It wasn't recording. My cat smells. I'm seeing in Labyrinth, smells bad. It smells really bad. I shuffled out the oyster. Did you see that? I just noticed it wasn't recording and I was talking to myself. Did you see that? And then I pulled out the book. I was talking about through grit and irritation, something beautiful is formed, the pearl. And then I pulled out the book and I opened it up and it opened right up to the oyster. Magic. Page 102, which reduces to 3. Feminine. Page 103, which reduces to 4. Masculine. Balancing your energies. The mouse is on the bottom. Anxiety. Right? Lack of confidence. So you can, like, I'm seeing the feminine and masculine energy within you here that needs to be balanced. The focus and the determination of the oyster is unmatched. Anything an oyster personality puts their mind to, they achieve with grace and charm. The only problem is oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. So maybe you've been taking your inner gifts or yourself for granted your entire life, and maybe you've been attracting in people who take you for granted. Or this could be about your mission, right? I wouldn't be surprised if some of you who are watching because you're studying for your mission. I just heard that because I saw the Cobra card. When the student is ready to learn, the teacher appears. I just picked up on that energy. Like maybe you have walked through this fire that I'm talking about and you are here learning so that you can help others on their mission. And maybe that's you, right? Like maybe you're feeling doubtful about helping others. Don't. You're here watching this reading to learn. Beautiful. Divine, like, anyway, I like it. I know you're there. I can feel your energy. So it can lead us to being shy or doubtful, withdrawing or protecting our deepest desires in life's work. When the oyster card appears, it's important to reveal your inner treasure. What is it you've been hesitant to share? The world is waiting to see. To bring into balance, share something. I want to see it. I want to see it. Oh, my cat stinks. There is nothing to fear in the stillness, divine feminine. I told you, I just could feel a divine feminine's energy watching that doesn't even resonate, but is watching to learn because you've been through this journey. You would have been listening to me like, oh yeah, I know exactly what she's talking about. I knew I felt you. You're here to learn. Some of you, not all of you. That's not what I'm saying. Right? A lot of you need this message, Mr. Crow. But I was just feeling somebody's energy who's here to learn. Divine feminine. There's nothing to fear in the stillness. This is where your power grows. Divine feminine energy, the tiger. This is where your power grows. This is where you remember who you are. This is where you find your mission. This is where you find your soul tribe. This is where you ascend, in the silence, in the stillness, right? And for some of you, I said it, you could be moving in silence, right? Too afraid to find your people. Find your people. The journey is more fun with friends, right? You guys, journey more fun with you guys. All right. One more for you. One more. The gazelle. The cheetah. Masculine energy. The cheetah and I like it. Masculine energy to go after your healing or to choose yourself or to go after your mission. You have both here. Amazing. The cheetah. I'll just read it to you and you can, it's not about taking action to anybody It's about taking action towards you, right? Your healing, your childhood wounds, your mission, you. Solar force, action, achievement, masculine energy. The cheetah is the epitome of solar forces at work. The sun doesn't shine onto the cheetah. It shines from inside this great creature and expands outward to brighten the universe. I said it, you need that masculine energy in order to go after your mission. The energy within a cheetah personality is palpable to others, and they naturally attract an audience to bear witness to their remarkable achievements. Purpose and passion are the best fuel for a cheetah's forward momentum. What lights your soul on fire? What is your passion? Purpose and passion, not what pays the bills, not what your parents told you to do, not what's socially acceptable. I'm going through something. Are the best fuel for a cheetah's forward momentum. So if you're lacking in those energies, reconnect to the why before you start running. So what are you running from? When in balance, achieves anything. You can achieve anything you put your mind to. That much is clear. Boundless energy. I think I have a little bit of cheetah energy in me right now. When out of balance, impatient, competitive. Triggered. Guilty. To bring into balance, reconnect to your purpose. Your purpose is not another person. Your purpose, you. You're your purpose. Loving you, healing you. And then whatever your purpose is in life, right? Whatever your mission is. Gazelle. Heightened awareness. You could be hyper aware of your surroundings, which is another thing that happens in childhood with empaths, right? We learn how to read energy. We learn to be hyper aware of everybody's energy so that we can walk on eggshells and not upset anybody, right? The gazelle, heightened awareness and ability, vulnerable. The gazelle represents supreme grace. With every move, this awe-inspiring beauty amidst sophistication and elegance. Gazelle personalities are often hyper-aware of their surroundings, bordering on hypervigilant. And this can inhibit them from enjoying the beauty they've spent so much effort cultivating. No more worrying about all of those predators out there in the wild, right? When you learn how to trust yourself, and you have healthy boundaries, you don't have to worry about, I'm hearing it, so I'm going to say it. You don't have to worry about the fuckwits everywhere. Like, I'm just trying to shed a little light, right? A little bit of humor. I wouldn't be joking if you didn't have a sense of humor, because I'm channeling your energy. But you don't worry what somebody else is doing because you trust yourself. You trust your own awareness that you can protect yourself, right? That's why this gazelle is laying down, right? Usually gazelles are up and they're like hyper aware of lions and predators and bears, oh my. So when this card appears, it's time to get back to the present moment, not worrying about the past or replaying events, unless it's like childhood healing. Oh no, my angel, it fell. Do you guys remember that voice clip? Oh no, the table, it's broken. Shine. This is what this is called, shine. And when you shine your light, the things that are meant to align with you will align with you. So get back to the present moment. Sit down, find your breath, and acknowledge the good things around you instead of thinking about everything you don't have, right? Think about the things you do have. Let it nourish your gentle spirit. Graceful, perceptive, artistic. artistic. When out of balance, food allergies, insomnia, racing mind. To bring into balance, yin yoga, a cozy home, good food. All right. Now I'm just going to get you a few tarot cards. And actually, I'm feeling called to get a different deck as well. So when I got up to, I can't remember why I got up, but I knocked over this tarot deck and it split on the Six of Cups and the Hermit. 69, important number. The Hermit. There's a spider here and it's making me think of the spider in that animal deck. Be focused on the process, not on the results, right? Focus on your journey, not on what comes at the end of your journey. And it might be time to come out of that hermit hole to meet soul connections, right? Soul tribe. Also, hermit energy, Six of Cups, healing childhood wounds and the wounds of your ancestors. Look at this card. Look at those ancestors in the background supporting you, right? Intuitive reader. Around those ancestors, we have 5 cups. So by learning how to give yourself love, right? By learning how to heal that inner child, you aren't just healing your past wounds, you're healing the wounds of your ancestors and for generations to come. Elephants. You can overcome any obstacle. Beautiful. All right. I'm just going to shuffle these once, and then I'm just going to get some... The King of Cups. A healthy balance of head and heart. You're worthy of the highest form of love there is. You're worthy of love. You need to find your orca. You need to find your orca pod. Beautiful. King of Cups, healthy balance of head and heart, which you can't have if you're in a situation with somebody who's not putting in effort. King of Cups in shadow, right? Low effort. Possibly emotional manipulation, but anyway. I have to redo it now because I'm muscle memory. All right, 4 of Cups, I said it. I said I was seeing the 4 of Cups, didn't I? Right? It's like spirits, there's opportunities available to you on this journey that you may be missing. I don't know if this is true or not, but I don't know if this is something that somebody made up on Instagram, but I heard that a group of fireflies is called a sparkle. 4 of Cups. So because of fear of rejection or past wounds, you could be closing yourself off to opportunities that are trying to align with you, right? There's fireflies in that card. Can you see that? Yes, you can. All right. This one is called Guardian of the Night Tarot by MJ Cullinane, and I felt really drawn to it today. King of Cups, healthy balance of head and heart. Doesn't allow people to trigger them, right? They feel the trigger, but they keep cool. 6 of Swords, transition, learning lessons, right? And that Ace of Swords is up there. So this transition, this you being redirected, right? Unexpected shift is about learning lessons. It's meant to bring you clarity for sure. Peeking around the card like a weirdo. Okay. So let's see what Spirit wants you to know. What does Spirit want you to know? I don't normally look or take these cards, but Spirit stopped me for a reason. We have the Devil and the 8 of Swords. So you could be blocking good things from coming in. You know, this is also making me think of, you know what? I am going to take it. We're going to talk about it. Oh, it would have been on the bottom anyway. But we have the Devil and we have the Eight of Swords. So obsessive, limiting beliefs coming from an unhealthy place. You know, I always see the Eight of Swords too, especially when it comes out with the Devil, as we feel trapped and stuck by our shadows, our trauma, right? But in reality, we're not actually stuck. Like, that's the message of this card. These owls are all trapped within the swords, right? But owls have wings. Owls can just fly out. They're not trapped. That's didn't I say I was seeing the Eight of Swords? Four of Cups, Eight of Swords, both came out. And then we have that Devil energy, lower vibrational energy. Keeps you stuck. Unhealthy patterns that you can heal, right? So you're supposed to be learning lessons about becoming more self-aware about your self-limiting beliefs and becoming more self-aware about your unhealthy patterns, right? Because unhealthy pattern, just an example from what I was seeing when we're chasing and we're accepting crumbs and we feel trapped, right? We're like, why won't they give us more? Why won't they give us more? And we're repeating negative emotional patterns, death in reverse. We're repeating negative emotional patterns by staying in the situation when we could free ourselves. We're not actually stuck, but we're acting from a wounded place. It'll make sense to the right people. Anyway, your energy, or what does Spirit want us to know for you? What does Spirit want us to know for you? Queen of Swords just came out. It didn't. And then, yeah. And then Queen of Swords wanted to come out and it didn't. And then Seven of Wands came out, which is about boundaries. I am enough without the explanation. And I am no longer offering one to people who, I need to read that, just 1 minute. And I am no longer offering it to people who didn't ask the right questions. That's a good one. So, your energy, we do have Knight of Swords and Seven of Wands. So, Knight of Swords to me is very impulsive energy, right? It's very reactive. So you could be someone, because the Queen of Swords wanted to come out but didn't, right? And the Queen of Swords, if in healthy, balanced energy, the Queen of Swords speaks their authentic truth. They put up boundaries. They know their worth, higher standards, right? They look at things logically. They speak from a grounded place, if in balance. Didn't come out. Instead, you have the Knight of Swords and the Seven of Wands, which is like, to me, it's not Queen of Swords energy, but I feel like you're somebody who needs to be pushed. I'm seeing the little, I'm seeing Happy Feet, the penguins. Don't push me 'cause I'm close to the edge, or whatever. Whatever the lyrics are, I don't really remember. I just remember the little penguin saying it. But you could be someone because you lack boundaries, right? We saw that with octopus. Because you maybe put up with less than you deserve, you chase outside of yourself. I always kind of see the Knight of Swords as somebody who's like really focused on something, like impulsively chasing them. That's just me as a reader. I see the Knight of Swords as a chaser. But you could be someone who you need to be pushed to your limit before you'll protect your energy, right? I always used to say that about me, like, I can put up with a lot, I can put up with a lot, I can put up with a lot, right? Overgiving, 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 or being mistreated all the time, like, why do they keep doing this to me? When really it was me doing it to me because I stayed. But you could be someone who is like, you have to be pushed to your edge, pushed to your breaking point before you will put up boundaries or before you will defend yourself or stand up for yourself. And maybe it doesn't come out in the healthiest way, right? Maybe it comes out in a reactive way, right? I just heard reactive, A, B, I can't say it. So yeah, the healthier energy to embody would be the Queen of Swords. To, you know, and how do you do that? You have healthy boundaries, right? You start setting healthy boundaries so that you're not pushed to that breaking point, or that you don't let yourself get to that breaking point. It's the same with suppressing things, right? If you suppress it, it's going to come out again, probably in an explosion. And you know, maybe this redirection happened because you were too focused on somebody else, right? 7 of Wands. And we have an alligator on here, which is making me think of the crocodile card. So again, what I'm seeing here is you could be someone who has to be pushed to your breaking point before you'll put up boundaries. And that's not the way boundaries work. We're supposed to put up like boundaries when we first start feeling like something's off. We're supposed to set those healthy boundaries so that we don't get pushed to our breaking point. Yeah, we have the High Priestess. And you know, I'm not being brutally honest with you. I don't see you being in High Priestess energy, but I do see suppression, right? High Priestess, like, can be silent and guarded. So you could be somebody who needs to be pushed to your breaking point before something's gonna give, right? I'm not saying you're not a divine feminine. I'm not saying that you're not a High Priestess. I'm saying that because you suppress your voice, or you don't realize your worth, or you can't hear your intuition, you could find yourself in situations where you have to, like, you really do hit your breaking point before you can put up boundaries or stand up for yourself, right? I have a memory in junior high. I was getting harassed, right, by these girls, and they were just teasing me all the time. Like, it was just... And I sat down at my math desk one day, and it was like, I was young, right? I probably had never even kissed anyone. And they were writing all over the desks that I was a... And I remember I stood up in math class and I walked across the room and I started screaming at them. And I got sent to the office. Right? When I really should have just done something sooner instead of just sucking it up. 7 of Cups. That's an interesting one. That's what I mean. You could be confused about what you're in, like, whatever situation you're in. Maybe that person was making you feel like an option, not a choice. Maybe you weren't seeing things clearly and you were suppressing and you hit your breaking point and, like, exploded, right? I want to see what is blocking you. The Sun. Judgment. Failure to learn lessons. What's blocking you? The Sun in reverse. Like, can be pessimism, can be things you still need to heal, lessons that you still need to learn, right? Self-doubt, judgment, self-doubt, lack of confidence, the Sun, distorted masculine energy, right? Sun in reverse for what's blocking you. It is masculine energy. Low self-esteem, things that you still need to heal, lessons that you know. Some of the stuff that I'm, like, talking about in this reading, right, that you need to work on. For what's blocking you, it's like you're still operating from your past self, right? Or the lower vibrational version of yourself. There's a layer here that you need to shed, lessons that you need to learn. Wheel of Fortune, resisting change. Feeling like you can control things, the illusion of control. You can't. Give in to the changes. You could have been resisting change with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, or resisting learning lessons, or not seeing them, which is why I'm bringing it up. Right? Taking yourself for granted, allowing other people to take you for granted, or not being grateful for your own light is what I'm hearing. Pessimism. Or, on the other hand, could also be like toxic positivity, right? If I just wait long enough, everything will work out. No, we have to learn the lessons. But there's definitely something about learning, like failure to learn lessons and self-doubt with judgment, fear of judgment, fear of how others will judge your life. Remember the cheetah card. That's the advice that you need right now for what's blocking you, what I said about the cheetah, because we have the sun. One more for what's blocking you. Six of Swords. So that's what I was just saying, feeling like it's like lack of learning lessons for sure. So there's a lot of lessons that have been being presented to you in different people or repetitively from thou who shall not be named. I don't know why I'm hearing that. That Six of Swords as a blockage is, you know, failure to learn lessons. Although I shouldn't say failure, but it can also be about hoping that things just magically get better, hoping that things just magically work themselves out and you don't have to do the work, right? There's no exception on this journey. I get it. I used to feel like I could be the exception. I don't have to do any of it. There's no exception, right? And even if you're not on the journey, if you want, doesn't matter if you're on the journey or not, by healing, you call in and you have healthier connections, relationship, lifestyle, healing. Best thing you'll ever do. But this Six of Swords can be the energy of like hoping things will just fix themselves, and they won't. Also, not moving forward from somebody, thou who shall not be named. Right? And I always say, you need to keep moving forward. You need to keep living your life. You need to keep focusing on your healing, your happiness. Because if you don't, you're going to become stuck and stagnant. Masculine energy, stuck and stagnant, came out. So again, it feels like you're still holding on to the idea of this person, right? And it's keeping you held back here. We have the Devil for what's blocking you. Repeating negative emotional patterns, accepting toxic behavior, right? Overlooking toxic behavior, codependency on someone else or substances. So lacking some self-awareness here about some things, which can be healed, right? That's not bad. What is your advice? First of all, surrender control. Look at anything that's keeping you stuck in lower vibrational energy, addictions, obsession. Start trying to learn the lessons here. What was this situation teaching me? What was it reflecting back to me about myself and what I was accepting, and what was it triggering within me that was unhealthy? Truly healing, right? With the Sun. Your advice, what should you focus on? The Tower, yeah. Let those towers fall, right? The Magician. So you need to take, it's about willpower. You need to have willpower to trust in your manifestations, to be proactive in your life. Anything, yeah, Hanged Man energy. To surrender anything that's unstable. Anything that's out of alignment needs to go. The old version of yourself needs to go. Spirit wants you to lean in and embrace this period of uncertainty. It's meant to enlighten you. It's meant to transform you, to look at it from a different perspective, right? To let go of anything that's trying to leave your life or anything that feels unstable. With the Tower, if something is crumbling, if you're seeing those red flags, it means it's not in alignment with you right now. And this was divine intervention. It was divine protection. If something is ending in your life right now, it's for a reason, whatever it is, right? It's for a reason. Or if things didn't work out, it was for a reason. Like Spirit's saying, the old version of yourself, or your old ways of thinking, or your old ways of accepting or overlooking red flags, needs to change with the Tower. It's like a wake-up call, right? And the Magician is about willpower. It's about working with the energy, not manipulating the energy, is what I'm hearing. It's also about focusing on different areas. Like, don't just focus on love. Don't just focus on that tower that's falling. Like, the Magician focuses on all of the elements, right? Your wish fulfillment, your manifestation should not be just another person. You need to have more in your life than that, is what I'm hearing, right? Hanged Man energy. Embrace this period of uncertainty. Don't be rushing. Don't be rushing to take action towards anybody, if you get my drift. Four of Swords. It's time to protect your energy. Four of Swords. Right? It's time to rest. It's time to care for yourself. It's time to heal. And you may not see it now, but it will make sense, right? Four of Swords. It will make sense. It's time to heal, my friend. All right, I want to get one card of advice for you from this deck that I haven't used in a very long time, but for some reason I felt called to use it today for you. So I'm curious as to what's going to come out. What is going to come out for you? What energy or advice does Spirit want you to embody? I'm not even going to look at that right now. Spirit told me no. So shuffle one out. I'm just going to pause it and check something. All right. So very self-focused reading. Spirit wants you to commit to yourself right now. And I already said that in this reading because we have the commitment card on the bottom. And the message is, before you even think about being in a relationship, right? Or Spirit wants you to commit to yourself. Commit to your journey. Number 4, masculine energy. Be your own protector and provider. Right? That's what we were talking about. Your advice. Your angels and guides are reminding you to commit. I choose to live in every moment, live in the present moment. I choose to commit or recommit, this is you, your advice, to your own happiness before you begin a whole new love relationship or try and chase another one, right? So if you are in the energy of losing willpower, right? And being sick of the journey, and you have that urge within you, like, I just want new love, I just want new love, just send me new love. You're not ready for new love either. Like, Spirit wants you to focus on self right now so that you can be ready for a healthy connection, so that you don't attract in the same type of chaos, right? Another example of when people search for love outside of themselves. All right, what do we need to know? For you, one card. We have the distorted masculine. How did I know that was going to come out? How did I know? The distorted masculine. How interesting. And we have serendipity, 29. And we have the distorted masculine, 10. This is about you. This is about you. The distorted masculine energy within you. And like I said, when I got that it wasn't a distorted masculine deck. When I got that masculine deck, think about the energy that came out, right? 29. No, let's do distorted masculine energy first. Be aware of where the distorted masculine may be showing up in your life. Let it go with love and live a fully blessed life right now. And I just said something about living in the present moment. The distorted masculine is here for all of us to see every day of our lives. It is characterized by an unwillingness to trust. We talked about trust. Tending to ignore emotions and intuition. Wanting proof of everything. And insisting on a logical or rational approach. Part of the mode we all grew up with to a greater or lesser extent. This old paradigm is now becoming obsolete. At first, we may still believe that the distorted masculine owns and runs the world. But if we look closer, we can see that the refusal to acknowledge and support the divine feminine is causing him to wither and die. And I'm not talking about you and somebody else. I'm talking about energy, right? We have both energies within us. We have all created the society we live in today, irrespective of our gender. How long the distorted masculine continues to exert his power is up to each and every one of us. The distorted masculine loves bureaucracy. Am I saying that right? Power for the sake of it and separateness rather than togetherness. The the distorted masculine tends to work within a win-lose dynamic where there can only be one winner, one prize. Taking advantage and taking whatever is available are seen as business as usual in this mode. So naturally we see a lot of distorted masculines in the corporate environment and in the damage done to our forests and oceans. It is tempting to feel helpless in the face of such an intense force. But this dragon has a soft underbelly because without the feminine forces to feed him, he cannot survive. You have drawn this card today because the distorted masculine is still influencing your life. Do you live by your clock and your diary, pushing everything aside until your work is done? Do you ignore your intuition or the messages from your body urging you to rest and relax? Are you afraid to feel your emotions for fear of being overwhelmed or appearing weak? Your angels and spirit guides want you to know that now is the time to bring this imbalance to your conscious awareness. Acknowledge it, bless it for what it has taught you, and let it go. It's time to live in and for the present moment without this influence. And then we have Serendipity. Serendipity? Such a good movie. Trust that your journey is unfolding naturally and gracefully. How often have you wondered, when will it happen? When? Uncertainty and waiting for your dreams to come true can be very frustrating. I should have showed you the cards. Distorted masculine. And this is the one we're on now. I like it. Where was I? Most of the time. All right, I'm going to hold it here. Most of the time we want what we want and we want it now. It's like Veruca Salt, right? I want a golden ticket now. Now. I want it now. Yet we often look back on our lives and are able to appreciate the divine timing and the serendipity that took place, right? Bree used that as a perfect example, that if I had come into her life sooner, she wouldn't have known what to do with me and I wouldn't have known what to do with her, right? Timing is a key element of life. Whether you are longing to meet your beloved or craving a renewal, it's often difficult or impossible to understand why your needs remain unfulfilled at a certain time. You might even doubt yourself or become disappointed with the universe. Developing your ability to trust in the greater forces that nurture and guide you is an empowering skill to have. Doing or being whatever you have asked for. No, I skipped a line. Make sure that you are genuinely committed to having, doing, or being whatever you have asked for, right? So if you want a stable connection, someone who sees who you are, or a loving friendship where somebody sees your light, you have to see your light first and be stable within yourself first. Sometimes the universe will protect you from your own naivety, so you can have more time to think things through. Next, make sure that you have done all you can from an earthly, humanly perspective to help your dream a reality. If you are procrastinating, how can you expect the universe to deliver? Once all of that is taken care of, it's time to trust that divine timing and serendipity have taken over, and to be prepared to listen to and act upon your intuition. Page of Wands, inspired intuition, right? Inspired action. When you feel the urge to follow something up or have a sense of knowing, go with it to discover where it leads. There are many steps on the path of your highest good. So be prepared for small miracles along the way, truth, rather than a big puff of smoke and total change. I'm hearing Puff the Magic Dragon. Why am I hearing that? I used to imagine that I had Puff the Magic Dragon. I imagined he lived behind my bookshelf. Divine timing and serendipity give you time to reconsider, refine, and adjust. Then they add a dash of magic so that there is an element of the unexpected too. Life wasn't meant to be predictable and your future is not set in stone. So learn to go with the flow and allow your fascinating journey to unfold gracefully. Beautiful message for you. Beautiful message. And I'm gonna get you some affirmations from the Divine Feminine, not divine, the Masculine Feminine Self-Forgiveness Oracle deck. Masculine and Feminine edition. These are about you. That's weird. I just smelled somebody that I know. That was funny. You guys ever get that? Right? Like, my grandmother always had a smell, right? Anyway, I just smelled a very familiar smell. Was it? It's not the cards. Is somebody eating French fries? That's not what I was smelling, but is somebody eating French fries? I forgive myself for sharing my love with the expectation of something in return. And we don't know we're doing it. I feel like that is distorted feminine energy. Right? When we give and give and give, and then we become resentful that we're not being met the same way, right? We don't do it intentionally. I choose to believe that love does not need to be directly transactional, and that when I give without expectation, I allow myself to receive from multiple sources. And no, this does not mean overgiving to somebody who's breadcrumbing you. That's not what that means. I just had to clarify that. Masculine card. All right. I forgive myself for shaming myself for the emotions I feel and would rather not experience, right? Like sometimes we get resentful and we don't want to feel that way. Feel it, release it. I'm hearing the song Blue. I just heard like, ain't got nobody to listen, to listen, to listen. I'm blue, da ba dee. You guys know the song. I don't know why. Are you eating French fries and listening to Blue? I choose to believe that when I do not judge what wishes to be expressed through me, I gain deeper insight into what actions I may take to better support myself. Masculine energy. Feminine energy. I forgive myself for looking to others for directions as to where I should go next. I choose to believe that my path is uniquely paved and I can find my way through active self-reflection and deep self-connection. Feminine. I forgive myself for taking on another's emotional reaction as my own. Yes. Yes. But that's what we're taught when we're children, right? It's programmed into us because as children, we analyze our experiences and we don't know, like if our dad explodes at us, we don't know if he had a bad day at work. So we internalize it. We attach experience to it. He blew up because of me, right? I choose to believe that allowing others to take ownership of their emotional experiences empowers them to heed the loving message present within that emotion, right? And as readers, we trigger people all the time and they get mad at us. But their emotional reaction to the things that we are saying, if it's triggering something within them, it's triggering it for a reason. I forgive myself for holding on to old narratives in an attempt to avoid uncomfortable emotions again in the future. I choose to believe that I am safe and I no longer need to act on old stories my ego has created in order to protect me. So we had 3 feminine and now we have 3 masculine, right? So there is a need to balance that energy. I forgive myself for resisting my natural desire to experience connection and intimacy. I choose to believe, so like if you grew up in a chaotic household, you may want connection and intimacy, right? But you may guard yourself, or if you were hurt in a past relationship, you may guard connection and intimacy. I choose to believe that others serve as my mirrors, and it is through the curious, playful acknowledgement of what I see in my reflection that I may better see and understand myself, right? So there's a reason when you're healing and you're evolving that you call in different types of people. So for a time, you're calling in like unhealed people because they're meant to be a reflection, right? And to teach you. There's a reason people trigger you because they're reflecting back to you. Like maybe somebody, like I talk about how Brie triggered me because she was just so, and I was so, right? And it's because what you admire, just like what you trigger, what you admire in somebody else or what you're envious of or what you're jealous of is a reflection of something you have that's within you. My point is that one of the best parts of the journey is when you start, I mean, there's so many beautiful parts, but when you start, the dog agrees with me, not my dog, somebody else's dog, is when you start calling in people who are at the same vibration as you and they reflect back to you amazing things. Anyway, I forgive myself for wanting others to see through my eyes by sharing my perspective. I choose to believe that allowing my unique perspective to be contrasted by another allows for clarification of what I really desire, ensuring I effectively create my dream life. And nobody has the same perspective. And if you don't agree with somebody's perspective, right? And you I'm hearing it, so I'm going to say it. Like, if you wander onto somebody's page, right? Like, I'm on Instagram flicking at stuff all the time. Well, I didn't used to be, but now I am. It's all good. It's all good stuff. But if you don't agree, like if you see somebody teaching something and you don't agree with their perspective, instead of like telling them your perspective is wrong, like go share your perspective with your people, right? Or go create your own page and share your perspective so that your people can find you anyway. Yesterday, like Bree and I were having like, we were sharing our perspectives of things and we were just kind of bouncing off of each other. Anyway, I forgive myself for thinking I need proof I have chosen correctly before I'm allowed to enjoy what I have. It's like that wounded inner child, like you need permission to enjoy it. I choose to believe that what is happening now is precisely what should be happening, and I align with my deepest desires when I allow myself to enjoy what is already mine. All right, I'm going to leave it here, my beautiful friends. Thank you for sitting with me. Long reading, but it's self-focused. It's for you. I'm not going to be doing shorter readings, just so you know. This is me. Now I'm hearing... What song is that? Greatest Showman? This is me. I'm going to go listen to that song. Maybe you should listen to that song. This is me, right? Stand in your power. Embrace yourself. You're beautiful. Anyway, I'm going to go. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.